Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Today in your journal, which should be open, but it's not open on Chase's desk, we're going to do conversion in the customary unit. Yesterday we talked about the customary unit. You have glued in your journal, if you follow directions, that big G with the 4 Q's inside it. The big G's for gallon. 4 Q's inside of it are 4 quarts. Each quart has 2 pints, so there's PP in the quarts. And inside the pints, there's 2 C's, because each pint has 2 cups. Today, we're going to compare. In doing that, we're going to use less than, greater than, or equal signs to compare. But it says conversion, Mr. McMurdo. Well, unless I know how many cups are in 16 gallons, I can't compare 16 gallons and 487 cups, unless I know for sure how much is in each. So we're going to learn to compare from a smaller unit, like a cup, to a bigger unit, like a quart. If you're starting with a smaller unit and you're changing it to something bigger, that's division. That's kind of a division sign here. So if I'm starting with pints, changing to gallons, it's division. However, if I'm starting with gallons and I'm changing to cups, it's multiplication. So if I'm going from a big unit or something bigger to something smaller, then it's multiplication. So let's look at our first example. Well, we'll have a victim in a minute.
Oh, what? You mean?
I mean somebody who's going to help me.
Yeah.
15 gallons and 120 pints. So now these two are not the same unit. We have gallons and we have pints. So what we're going to have to do in a moment is we're going to have to change either the gallons to pints or the pints to gallons. Because once they both have the same, then we can decide. So, Team Shake has chosen Phoenix. Phoenix, would you like to change 15 gallons to see how many pints that is? Or 120 pints to see how many gallons that is?
I'll do 15 gallons.
We're going to take 15 gallons. And we want to know how many pints 15 gallons is. Now, which is bigger, gallons or pints?
Gallons.
Phoenix, gallons. So we're starting with gallons. We're changing to pints. So that means we're going to multiply. Starting with gallons, changing to pints. That means we're going to multiply. So, 15 times what? How many pints are in 1 gallon, Phoenix? You have your big G thing you can look at. Eight. So 15 times 8 equals what, Phoenix?
12. Well, actually, wait. 120.
120. So 15 gallons is the same as 120 pints. So what should I put here? Phoenix? Thank you, all you Phoenixes. So 15 gallons is equivalent to 120 pints. 15 gallons is equivalent to 120 pints. Let's look at another one. Let's take 65 quarts. And do this without yelling out any answers, because I want other people to try and work them as well. And we're comparing 65 quarts to 32 gallons. 65 quarts to 32 gallons. Now my Team Shake has selected Ashley. Ashley, do we want to figure out how many quarts are in 32 gallons, or do you want to figure out how many gallons are in 65 quarts?
How 65 quarts to gallons?
Quarts to gallons. So 65 quarts equals how many gallons? Now, are quarts greater than or less than gallons? Less. So we're going from quarts to gallons, which means we divide. Starting with something small, going to something bigger, which means we divide. So we have to do 65 divided by what, Ashley?
4.
By 4. Where did you get 4?
Because 4 quarts equal a gallon.
Because 4 quarts equal a gallon. Because 4 quarts equal a gallon. So, Ashley, will you please do that math for me? I can do, let's see, 4 into 64. 25, 6, 24, 16 and 1/4. So 65 quarts equals 16 and 1/4 gallons. So 65 quarts, less than, greater than, or equal to 32 gallons. Ashley. Less than. 65 quarts is less than 32 gallons because 65 quarts equals 16 and 1/4 gallons. We're either multiplying or dividing, depending if we're going from small to big or big to small. If we're changing from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, it's division. A bigger unit to a smaller unit is multiplication. I'm just saying that's what it is. Y'all don't have to argue about it. Let's look at another. Let's take 28 cups, and we're comparing less than, greater than, equal to 16 pints. 28 cups, 16 pints. Now, obviously, the first thing you have to do is figure out which one you're changing. Are you changing from cups to pints or pints to cups? So you have them in the same unit. So Zen, do you want to change the cups to the pints or the pints to the cups?
Pints to cups.
Pints to cups. So we have 16 pints equals how many cups? Are we going from bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger?
No, bigger to smaller.
Bigger to smaller. Because we're changing what we know, which is pints, to what we don't know, which is cups. Since pints are greater than cups, we're going to multiply. So we're going to have 16 times what?
2.
Zen, where did you get the 2?
Well, 1 pint equals 2 cups, so...
1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 pint equals 2 cups. So 16 pints equals how many cups?
32.
32. So this is the same as saying 32 cups. And 28 cups is less than, greater than, or equal to 16 pints, Zen.
Less than.
Less than. Less than. My goodness, this is easy. It is easy.
Yes. Yes.
However, I could do 1,000 examples and then give you some problems, and somebody in here will be like, I don't understand. It like makes 0 sense. I just don't like get it. And then somebody else will say, when Phoenix does the problem correctly, someone else will say, I disagree.
Caden. Or Riley.
Oh.
Caden or Riley.
Shh. All right, we have time for one more.
That was just a random name.
Yeah, just randomly said Caden.
Is that a real name?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
Let's do 25 pints, 13 quarts. 25 pints, 13 quarts. And my lucky victim is
Big
Aiden. Aiden, do you want to change pints to quarts or quarts to pints? Changing quarts to pints. So we have 13 quarts. That's it. Equals blank pints. Now, are we going from bigger to smaller or smaller to bigger? Bigger to smaller. Thank you, all you Aidens in the room.
You're welcome.
I wish I had a whole class full of Aidens, because then attendance would be real easy. Aiden, here. Aiden, here. Aiden, here. Okay, so since we're going from bigger to smaller, Aiden, we're going to do what? Multiply. So I have 13 times what, Aiden?
13.
How many pints are in a quart?
2.
2. And so 13 quarts equals how many pints, Aiden?
13 quarts equals how many? 26.
26. 13 quarts equals 26 pints. So 25 pints is less than, greater than, or equal to 13 quarts.
Less than.
Less than. Awesome. Boom shakalaka, peace out. God bless, love ya. Do something kind today. Subscribe and follow. Or I am going to pull Chase's tongue out and wear it as a necklace.
Wait, do that.